everyone, it's Ashley. Welcome back to my channel. This video is the last 2 weeks of my wax empties. So let's get started. This is my basket and it's filled up with all of my wonderful empties from this past couple of weeks. I have a pretty good variety of things in here. I have been using up, a couple pieces of this, couple pieces of that, for the last month. I'm trying to go through my collection and just clean up the odds and ends that I have been, hanging on to for some reason, and I'm trying not to hoard anything. So that probably is some of these that, if I remember the reason why I only had a couple pieces left, I'll tell you, but it's not a big deal. Okay, first of all, if I look greasy, my hair, I'm out of dry shampoo, and I feel like a grease ball. So just sorry for the appearance. I do have a glass of water here if I need to take a sip. The season's starting for tickles in the throat. So fall and spring are rough on my respiratory system. So, okay, without further ado, wax time. L3, red bottoms. These were the sweethearts that Jen and Trish chose to pour this year. They did a lot of fun shapes for the holidays this year. They did, the Christmas shapes, of course, where they had the gingerbread houses and some of the little elves, little ornaments, those, and then the hearts, sweethearts for Valentine's Day. And I think they might have done something for St. Patrick's, but I can't remember. And then they did Easter eggs, I think, or bunnies. No, bunnies, sorry, bunnies they did for Easter. So the next holiday coming up, I don't know what it would be. Next holiday is Labor Day, right? No, Memorial, sorry. Labor Day is in September. Memorial Day is coming up next. So we shall see. Okay, what they choose to do. Red bottoms. This was my first time buying this blend. And it's funny because it's a zucchini bread blend, and I am in love with zucchini bread. This is Jet Puff Marshmallow, zucchini bread, sugar cookie royale, and wild berry mousse with raspberry. Lots of berry, lots of cookie, lots of yumminess going on in this. I bought 3 hearts of this. First time I bought one because I wanted to see what it was about. Sometimes raspberry, especially, I really haven't had a lot of raspberry from Jen. I have had raspberry whip, which I know is florally to me, but I haven't had just straight raspberry. This is fantastic as far as I'm concerned. I get a beautiful mixture of wild berry mousse with raspberry, and it's fantastic. It's blended so well with the zucchini bread. It's blended well with the sugar cookie royale. It is strong. It throws for a long time. It was a beautiful, you can see the color, the beautiful red here. Fantastic. I am going to be chopping up my other 2 hearts and going to use them because this is a delicious scent. I would definitely buy this one again. Next is Swanky. This is a sampler this was her Buttery Toast and Jam sampler from December. So this would have been the pre-order I ordered in October. This is Buttery Toast and Jam, sugar cookie, Buttery Toast and Jam, sugar cookie, and birthday cake. So this one was pretty simple. And honestly, Jeannie's Buttery Toast and Jam is phenomenal. I think of everything I've had Swanky so far. I've only been buying from Swanky for about a year, but everything I've had so far that's been Buttery Toast and Jam has been phenomenal. It's so strong. And honestly, in this blend here, I cut this into, I think, 8 pieces. 7 or 8 pieces, I can't remember now. This basically, all I smell is Buttery Toast and Jam. And I'm not complaining because it's hard to describe. It's not a bread outright. It's not a cake. And it's just a delicious, yummy, slightly fruity bakery scent. I'm so happy I grabbed this sampler. I'm working on the lemon blend now. And I have another one that is, I think, wild berry and the sugary, Buttery Toast and Jam, sorry. I'm working on that now, but this was fantastic. I would not hesitate to buy Buttery Toast and Jam from Swanky in the future. I will say with Swanky, I haven't talked about it a lot on my channel. I'm using her stuff little by little, just because, you know, it's hard to get, and I have passed some along too. So I'm struggling a little bit with some of the bakery with Swanky, you know, getting it to throw in my home. Some of the lemon bakery, not a problem because lemon is stronger, but some of the lighter bakeries, and I haven't tried her vanilla, although I see so many people raving about Jeannie's vanilla scents. I'm a little nervous to purchase an outright vanilla blend because, you know, vanilla and I struggle sometimes. But the tobacco blends from Swanky are fantastic. In fact, I have several tobacco blends coming with the pre-order that she's working on right now. I love a good tobacco scent. So this one, buttery toast and jam lovers out there, this one would be for you. A+. Okay. Speaking of Swanky, here is Crushed Pink Velvet. Crushed Pink Velvet, I'm pretty sure, is pink frosted cake, zucchini bread, pink sugar, and maybe some birthday cake or cookie in there. I'm not quite sure everything that's in it, but I know it's zucchini bread, pink frosted cake, and pink sugar at least. This I bought 3 or 4 roses. This was also from the pre-order from last fall. I melted this. I cut this in, I think, 5 or 6 pieces. I like this blend. I do. I wish it had a little bit more strength in the zucchini bread department, but this is great. I had it going upstairs in my master bedroom and bath, and I had a couple pieces in my office. Sometimes I have my Accord, my Scentsy Accord warmer in my office, and sometimes I don't put all 3, you know, because it has the 3 warmers. Sometimes I don't put wax in all 3 warmers. Sometimes if it's a really strong killer blend, I just put it in 1, honestly. If it's a lighter blend, I put it in all 3. If it's moderate, I put it in 2. And that's what I felt this was. But this is nice. I have 2 or 3 more roses, like I said, and I actually have a loaf coming of this, so I'm looking forward to that. This is one I've wanted to try just because I love pink frosted cake and I love zucchini bread, so this is a great one too. That is a bakery that I don't struggle with that. Okay, I always have a lot of L3 because, you know, I have a lot of L3. I buy L3 regularly. I replenish my stash all the time, but I do have some other vendors in here to talk about. K. This is K. K is Carla Meredith. I believe Meredith's her last name. This is Smell of Weather Turning Lush Type. This is oak moss, chamomile, cinnamon, and mint. This is not a blend that's talked about very much at all. This is because I don't think a lot of people might gravitate towards this because it does have hay in it. It does have, I mean, this is random scents: chamomile, oak moss, cinnamon, and mint. I mean, these are, but I love it. I love this so much. To me, I get the hay and I get the chamomile tea. After this was going for a couple of hours, my husband said it smelled old lady. So that's probably the musky part that's in here, because I do remember looking on Lush's website or somewhere online to really see what all is in this baby, because I love this blend. This is phenomenal. Half of this clam I melted up here, and the other half I took downstairs in my open concept, and they performed about equally both places. This is great. I love K. I love Carla's wax. Not K. I love Carla's wax. I haven't ordered from her since she had her Black Friday. I'm pretty sure it was her Black Friday sale, Thanksgiving time. But I want to make an order here probably late summer. I want to use up the rest of the clams I have. I finished up a custom already. I have one more custom. It's a fall blend that Jay helped me with. It's called Worn and Sweater, I think I called it. It's sweater weather and applewood, and I can't remember the other blend I have, but I have a really long customs list of blend creations that I would love to try in my lifetime if I can, but we'll see. Late summer. Okay, next is L3. This is Coconut Lime Verbena. This was a trig tart. This is linear to the Bath and Body Works Coconut Lime Verbena, if you remember what that smells like. I think now they changed the name from coconut lime verbena to, I don't remember what they changed it to. I'm thinking, but my brain isn't seeing it. I don't remember the new name of it. It's something. I don't think it's verbena. It's another word. Coconut lime. I don't remember. I'm sorry. But this smells just like coconut and lime mixed together. A little bit of freshness to it. I love this. I use this. I actually just melted this alone. I didn't blend it with anything. I really sometimes like a nice cocktail. This is kind of like a cocktail. It reminds me of a drink, you know. Of course it's missing a little bit of stuff, but this kind of reminds me of a drink, and I liked that one. Next is Dessa. This is Cinnabon, one of her best sellers from the pre-order. This was her January pre-order because I finished up this breakaway bar already. Cinnabon was her best seller from the January pre-order, and she offered it in her last pre-order from April 1st. So I might have grabbed another one of these. This is a doughy center of a cinnamon roll with cream cheese frosting. This is great. It is not as heavy cinnamon as some other cinnamon roll blends and cinnamon roll oils that are out there. This is more, and I think it hits somebody in the group either this past time or in January asked, you know, is it heavy on the cinnamon? And she said that she wanted to make it not as heavy on the cinnamon because she knows cinnamon is scary, or, you know, not something a lot of people really gravitate to, heavy cinnamon. So she wanted to balance it really well by putting more of the doughy part and the sugar and just a little bit of hint of cinnamon. And that is exactly what this is. And there's cream cheese frosting in here, of course, but this is yummy, doughy, scrumptious. Does it smell exactly like a Cinnabon, you know, the Cinnabon store? No, but it's close. It is. This is great. I would definitely buy this again. Definitely. This is L3 again. This is banana nut bread, zucchini bread, brown sugar. This was a newer bougie bar that I had when Trish did her Scenspirational Sunday for brown sugar. This was one that they poured. And why I grabbed this is it's zucchini bread, which I love. And I love banana nut bread. This is a fantastic oil too. Honestly, when this was warming, it kind of took on a popcorn scent to me. A little bit of buttery popcorn. But then, for whatever reason, once this warmed up for a while, it's a beautiful mix of the zucchini bread spice with the banana nut bread. So maybe when my nose was just smelling it because I melted this on 3 different occasions, and each time it smelled popcorny to me. But it's not popcorn. It just, maybe that's what my nose was picking up. So this is one I would buy again, definitely. It's great. It's yummy. It's fantastic. Next is Smell Good Shop, which I don't talk about very much because I've only ordered from Wendy a couple of times, and they weren't crazy large orders. And some of the blends I actually have downstairs in my overflow storage, and some of them I've used and, you know, didn't either do a video or, you know, didn't care for them or something. I don't remember. But I know that my stash of Smell Good Shop is dwindling down. But I try my best. Even if I don't like the scent, I do review it for you guys because, I mean, you don't have to like everything out there. And there is somebody watching who likes that scent. So, but I have passed a lot of wax on. And maybe, you know, I've given wax to my coworkers. I give wax to my mom. You know, maybe I've just moved it on out of my collection. But I've talked about it here and there. I want to buy again from her late summer. Garden Retreat. This is an interesting one. This is herbal green notes and garden soil. You know what this smells like to me is a tomato plant. That's how tomato plant has a distinct smell if you have a garden and you know, go and you pick your tomatoes or you have fried green tomatoes, that scent of the tomato vine is so distinct. I particularly love it. I love it because I grew up with it. You know, I had a garden. When I was little, I don't really remember much about the garden, but there were snakes in it, so I kind of stayed away because I to this day, I'm still afraid of snakes. But I know just from the grocery store and from, people giving us tomatoes and such in the summertime. And then, as an adult, my dad having a large garden, and he doesn't have one much anymore. I don't even think he does a garden since his lady friend passed a few years ago. It's just him there. So, yeah, tomato vines smell fantastic to me. This is the herbal green notes, and there's a little bit of earthiness to it from that garden soil. This is not a blend for everybody, but I would buy this in a large quantity just because of the nostalgia that's attached to it and just how it is so realistic. It's definitely garden retreat. Definitely. I'll have to see if this is offered again, or I know she does customs. I could even request this again because that's a great one. Probably one of my April melts of the month, to tell you the truth. Teddy bees. Teddy bees. My order is in the mail. It might be here tomorrow. It might be here Tuesday. Depends on what the PO does. Cookies and cashmere. This is sugar cookies, sugar cookie dough, cashmere cream, and vanilla birch. This is wonderful. Wonderful. This is a beautiful fragrance. I wouldn't say that it is cookie heavy bakery because to my nose it's not. The cashmere cream and the vanilla birch are the most dominant in this blend. The cookies, the cookie dough, and the sugar cookies, I think are just there to add a little bit of creaminess, a little bit of depth. But this I melted this. This was a souffle. This was a souffle that I was so grateful to get from Candace. Most of us in the world, in the wax world, know Candace. And she sold me a souffle of this. I didn't pick it up in the pre-order. Not this past pre-order, but the pre-order. This was poured in October of last year. So, the fall pre-order. I didn't pick it up. And then it was... it just took off with popularity, and I, felt like I was missing out, of course, and but I just commented that I should have grabbed this one. I wish I would have grabbed this one. And then Candace, being so kind, she offered to sell one to me, and I have it here. I have another one coming in the mail just because it is just a beautiful, sensual fragrance. Not a bakery. Like I said before, I would not call this a bakery, but it is a beautiful, delicate, fragrance. It's you got to smell it. You really have to smell it. Next, L3 coffee bean, blueberry flapjacks, pumpkin pecan waffles, and strawberry jam glazed donuts. I'm pretty sure, I'm trying to think here. I had a custom in October that is pretty similar to this. This might have been the overpour of my custom, honestly. I don't remember. I have my batch of customs from a year ago I'm working on right now, and I have the customs I purchased in this past fall. I have it downstairs, so I'm using my older wax up first. I'm pretty sure this was my custom, but this is fantastic. Whether it is or not, this is a fantastic blend. It is coffee bean, yes, but it doesn't have that how some coffee blends, I love L3's coffee bean. I really, really do. But I know some people feel that coffee can be skunky or acidic smelling or bitter. The blueberry flapjacks, the pumpkin pecan waffles, and that strawberry donut, that really takes that coffee bean down to just a beautiful level where the coffee is just, oh, I smell a little bit of coffee. This is kind of like a breakfast blend. And I'm pretty sure this was my custom because I was trying to recreate Luke's Diner from Rose Girls. That's what I was trying to do. But I don't think L3 has Vanilla Crunch Donuts, which is what I substituted strawberry jam glazed donuts for Vanilla Crunch Donuts. And other than that, I have not been lucky and snagged Luke's Diner from a Rose Girls. I know it's been offered a few times, but I just, wasn't buying at that time or sold out or something like that. But this was phenomenal. This was a 4-pack of the fluted tarts. I loved this. I would request this again. This is a scrumptious, scrumptious blend. Yes. Dessa's Sugared Zucchini Streusel. Now this one is zucchini bread, sugar cookie, and cinnamon streusel crumble. This one is not very heavy in the zucchini bread. So the next time Dessa has a pre-order, I've been buying from her for a year, and every pre-order has had this offered. I think this is one that, you know, she told me she's going to always offer her best sellers, you know, like sweet macerated strawberries, and this one, and a couple of other of her other ones that are just so popular each time she's open. So this one, it's not heavy on zucchini. It's not spicy. It's creamy. Yes, it has cinnamon in it from the cinnamon streusel, but it's also heavy, heavy bakery. It's almost, I'm missing the zucchini bread spice to it, but I think she deliberately made this so the sugar cookie and the streusel is a little bit heavier to kind of take that zucchini bread. Some people think it smells like Fritos or feet, you know, take that part of the zucchini bread away and just leaving the depth of the heaviness, you know, of the bread part without the spice to it. That's what I think she was trying to do, because that's what I got from this scent. Would I personally buy this again? No, because I want a little bit more to my zucchini bread scents. But I understand that this, I mean, it's a beautiful scent. It's yummy, it's bakery, but I like my zucchini bread to have a little bit of spice to it. This doesn't. So, if I was given this, sure, I would melt it, but I would also add a little bit more zucchini bread on my own to this blend to make it a little bit more personal for me. That's what I'll say. Let's stick with Dessa, because I have several more Dessas here. I've been melting through my Dessa stuff. I have. Next is Country Kettle Corn. This is from the pre-order last fall. This is freshly popped kettle corn, sugar, vanilla, brown sugar, and sea salt. Now this one here, this is not a super heavy, strong scent. This is probably a light moderate to moderate throw, I should say. And I found myself having, instead of having just one break off, the cube that breaks off, I found myself needing a cube and a half, just because this is a lighter scent. I love the smell of her balance of sea salt and sugar and brown sugar was perfect, because it was honestly just like smelling a bag of kettle corn, where you have that balance of sugary, salty deliciousness. I liked this a lot. I think if I was doing this again, I would put a little bit, well, if I could dictate how this was poured, I'll say that I would add a little bit more kettle corn to have a little bit more of that quality, like the popcorn, the kettle corn quality that oil gives. It's delicious oil. I love it. And I would also add just a touch more salt, because sea salt is delicious, and her sea salt oil is delicious. So that's the only criticism I have of this one, but it's good. Would I buy it again? Maybe. I'm not sure. I don't hate it, but I'm not in love with it either. But it's nice. I've had better kettle corn. I'll say that. Next is Coffee and Donuts. This was from the January pre-order this year. This is rich coffee and sweet glazed donuts. My take on this is basically coffee with a little bit of sweetness in it. I did not get donuts. I did not get bakery. I didn't get cake. I didn't get bread. I didn't get any bakery note. It's coffee sweetened with a little bit of sugar, basically. And I'm not complaining. I love my coffee blends. If you watch me, you know I do. I'm not afraid of a coffee blend. This is one that was kind of simple to me. So if you're new into coffee and you're just wanting to dip your toe in to see Dessa's coffee, this is a good starting point. I've had a couple of her coffee ones. Cowboy Coffee, I think it has fudge brownie mixed with it. And there's Fall in New England, which is caramel and pumpkin puree and coffee and something else in it. Those are delicious coffees too. She has Main Street Coffee, which I did not buy because I think it was just basically plain coffee, but I could be wrong. And I didn't grab any coffee ones. I didn't even get Fall in New England because I have, or maybe I did, I don't remember, from this past pre-order. But this is a good starting point for her coffees, and it's good. It is good, but to me, I want a little bit more donut in the coffee. Next is Blueberry Pumpkin Waffles. This is from last fall's pre-order. This is pumpkin waffles, sweet blueberry syrup, and melted butter. This reminds me of Eggo, the Eggo frozen waffles. How those smell, after you put them in your toaster, and that crispiness, that buttermilk, that waffle scent. This smells just like it with blueberry syrup. This was phenomenal, and the melted butter is so good. I would definitely buy this again. She had a blueberry, I don't know if it was a blueberry waffle blend, but she had a new blueberry blend that is was offered this past pre-order, and I messaged her and I said, is it the same blueberry that's in this blueberry pumpkin waffles? And she said it's better, actually. So I thought, ooh boy, I'm gonna buy that one. So but this one, I loved it. I will buy this again if it's offered in the fall. This is phenomenal. I like that. It threw well. It lasted a long time. It was not overpowering. It's kind of like, you sniff the air and you're like, I smell a hint of this. But that's all I wanted from that scent. I didn't want to be knocked down, punched in the face with blueberry necessarily. I love my blueberry, but in a waffle scent, I kind of liked it how it was. So bravo on this one. This was done perfectly, in my opinion. Glitterati, Miss Janine, love Janine. This is bubblegum cookies. This was in either one of my, when she used to do her call-up mystery boxes, or one of her Sunday, the drawings that she used to do, before she opened her website. I don't remember when she opened her website, but nonetheless, I got this one in August of last year. Bubblegum cookies. In one of my last videos, I don't remember which video it was, I talked about bubblegum and how most things bubblegum are disgusting to me. Bubblegum ice cream, bubblegum cake, bubblegum dental polish, bubblegum toothpaste, bubblegum, disgusting. I'm not a bubblegum person. Its purpose is to blow bubbles, and even in that case, I'm going to pick a flavor other than regular bubblegum flavor. I can't. I can handle it. Yes, I'm an adult. I can handle it, but I don't prefer it. However, I like bubblegum and wax, and it's not used very often because it can kind of probably get weird if it's not blended correctly. I don't know what cookie that this is blended with, or maybe this is a single oil. I'm not sure. But I liked this because the bubble gum wasn't artificial smelling. I mean, I guess I shouldn't say that, because really, what is bubble gum flavor? Like, what is that? Is it sugar? I mean, what is the bubble gum flavor? I don't know if anybody knows. Maybe the bubble gum people don't even know what flavor it is either, because it's bubble gum. It's probably just a bunch of chemicals together, and that probably is what it is. But it probably, if it's too much bubble gum, it probably could get a little gross to my nose. So, but this was done very tastefully. This was nice. It's got the nice balance of that bubble gum scent with a little bit of doughy cookie. And that's all I wanted from that. And I used the whole chunk. So there you go. Bubble gum and wax. I like it. So, moving on, we will move on to Rose Girls. Fire Mario. Fire Mario. My favorite Mario is Fire Mario, or from Super Mario 3 when he has his little squirrel hat and his, whatever that's called. I am an 80s baby. of course. I grew up with the original NES. I remember my dad going to Sears and buying me a Nintendo for Christmas. I don't remember what year. We lived in South Carolina, so I was between the ages of 4 and 9. So somewhere in there. And you know, whatever year Nintendo came out, it was either that year or the year after. Maybe I know I got it in South Carolina, and I know my very first video game was, you know, Super Mario Brothers, because I think that came, honestly, with the system. And then my dad got me Ghostbusters. And I could never get past, like, the second or third stage of Ghostbusters. I think it was a little too advanced for me as a little kid. And I don't even know, my husband is a super big time video game guy. Has always been, ever since he was a kid. And he's probably beat it, but I haven't. However, Fire Mario is my favorite Mario. Even in all of the Marios, you know, 64 and GameCube and all of those fantastic ones. Oh, when I was in college, we used to have GameCube competitions. I lived in a dorm for 3 years. Yes, I know. Usually you move out after 2, but I had so much fun in the dorm. My friends and I decided to stay another year. So we had co-ed dorms. I went to a very large university in Ohio, and we had co-ed dorms. Each room on the floor alternated boy, girl, boy, girl, boy, girl. So we were not in the same room as boys, you know, living quarters, but they were on our floor. So the guys next door to us, they always liked to hang out in our room, of course. So they had all their gaming crap set up in our room. And that's how I really learned about Halo. I learned about Street Fighter, Final Fantasy, all of those games I was never exposed to, because up until that point I had only had Nintendo, and I had something called a Sega, not Sega Genesis, the handheld Game Gear, Sega Game Gear. I don't know if anybody remembers that. I had the Lion King. That was my Lion King and Sonic. And Sonic, I couldn't get him up over one of the damn walls, so I was stuck in that game too. I know, I'm terrible at video games, although I have beat several games in my life. I beat, my dad bought me a Nintendo 64 when it came out, the year it came out, and I beat the Super Mario Brothers 64 on the day that my dog died when I was 13 years old. I beat that game. I'll never forget that. You know, things stick in your mind that you always remember where you are. You always remember where you were. And my dog was a golden retriever. Her name was Amber. My parents bought her for me when I was 5, I think. 5 years old. I was an only child, so, you know, we lived in the country, in the boonies. My father had horses and dogs, so we always had to be in the country, which now I love that I had the opportunity to live in the country. It's what I prefer now in my life, actually. And Amber was my best friend. She was like a shadow to me. So when Amber died, I was so hurt that I took all of my anger and pain out on the last stupid round of Bowser, you know, when he's up in the last, I don't remember the names of the stages because it's been years since I played that game, but the last final stage when you have to throw him and hit the bombs, and then he comes back and it knocks off the pieces to where you're left on a star, that I beat it the day that Amber died. So Fire Mario is a part of that game too. But back to wax. Sorry, I had to share a little bit of my life with you there. Fire Mario is espresso, marshmallow fireside, and donut holes. This is fantastic. This is one of my favorite coffee blends that I have had from Jenny. This is so good. It smells like it's still in the bag. It is so strong. The coffee, or I should say espresso. The espresso and the marshmallow fireside is so beautifully balanced. You get the sweet smokiness from the marshmallow fireside, and you get the integrity of that espresso bean. It is phenomenal. The donut holes kind of get lost in the background. I can't pick them up in this blend, but Man, marshmallow fireside and coffee is where it's at. It is delicious. I have another bag of this, and if I don't, I think I have another bag, I should say. I'll be sad if I don't, because that is phenomenal. Okay, Scentsy. I'm hesitant to talk about Scentsy stuff because Scentsy, I'm on the fence with Scentsy. Scentsy has some really good blends out there, I'll say, like Luna, and I love the sea salt and avocado. This is maraschino sugar cookie. This was sent to me in a random act of kindness a couple of months ago. And I melted this. I've melted this all over my home. And I will say that I have a Scentsy Accord. I put 3 cubes, 1, 2, 3, in my Accord. I could only smell it very, very faintly. I put this in my hot plate warmer in my kitchen downstairs. And I only have hot plate warmers in my home other than my tea light warmers. And I did not put this in a tea light. So my Accord, I told you I did with my Accord. In my hot plate warmers, this threw exponentially. And downstairs in my open concept, it performed even better. So I liked this scent. I mean, she sent it to me because she knows I love cherry, and it was a bunch of cherry stuff that she's accumulated over a while. So I'm very appreciative that I was able to smell this because I know this is really, really popular, and I know that it's sold out when it was available on the website. I looked at this. I really did. I love maraschino cherry. I like cherry stuff with a little bit of sugar cookie. I wish this had a little bit more bakery to it. It's just basically maraschino, but it's okay because I like it. But I don't like how Scentsy kind of sucks in their warmers as far as I'm concerned. And I mean, no offense to anybody out there who likes Scentsy. I know there's a lot of Scentsy reps out there and stuff. And, you know, I'm glad that those bring you happiness. I'm just not completely sold on Scentsy. I'm not. And I used to have a Scentsy club. I discontinued it because I have more than enough vendor wax, and I prefer vendor wax. But this one here, I wish that Scentsy wax performed just as well, if not better, in their own warmer than it does in another type of warmer, like a hot plate. Or I wish I had more of this to put in my tea light. But I wish that the consistency was there, and that's what I'm struggling with, and what I have with some other blends. And I mean, then I have something like Luna, and Luna performs. I mean, my bar, I think in my last Empties video I talked about Luna. That bar was 7 or 8 years old, and it threw like it was poured yesterday. So there's inconsistency, in my opinion, throughout a lot of blends of Scentsy. So that's my take on this. So I don't have very much Scentsy. I mean, I have maybe 7 or 8 bars left in my collection that I'll use here and there. But I honestly, vendor wax, I love vendor wax so much. It's a part of my daily life, and I just don't grab for retail wax much anymore. And even my Better Homes and Gardens and my Sensationals and such, I'm moving them on out to my coworkers. Like, I have a coworker that loves the Sensationals wax. It makes her happy. Sure, I'm more than happy to supply with what I have left. I'm not buying anymore when I'm going into Walmart, and when I go into Target, which is very, very, very rare because Target is a retail trigger of mine, and I go crazy. I don't allow myself to go into Target very much. I don't even look at wax in Target. So the little bit of Walmart wax I have left are the scents that I know really, really perform well. But if you watch me in one of my last, not the last, but one of my Empties videos from the last several months, the residue that's left in my warmers from retail wax is just, it gets sticky. Like I have to clean it out with isopropyl alcohol in between putting, retail wax. I mean, putting my vendor wax back in after I use a retail wax, because that stupid residue that's in the melting vessel. I'm not a fan of that. I mean, if it doesn't bother you guys, great, happy. I'll send you my retail wax if you want it. Some blends that I have that I'm not nuts about, but I just haven't found a home for yet. So, yeah, that's my little take on retail wax. I figured I'll tell you that when I'm talking about a retail item. Next is Vintage Chic, Martha and Snoop. Martha and Snoop, crazy popular blend. This was one of my very first blends that I was introduced to with Vintage Chic. I was introduced to Vintage Chic in October of 2021, roughly. And Martha and Snoop was one of my very first blends I bought. This is Zucchini Bread, Vanilla Butter Fudge, Cupcakes at Tiffany's, and Brown Sugar. You know, most of us know Kirby is closing her business sometime this year, and her stuff is not going to be available anymore. So when Martha and Snoop was available for her Blossom bars and her pre-order, I don't remember if it was not this last time, but the time before, or maybe even the first one, I don't remember. I grabbed 2 Blossom bars of Martha and Snoop because I have a loaf of it. So I have plenty, and I actually have the loaf that's from 2021. One of my first loaves I bought. I know I haven't chopped it up yet. I have it in my two chop tote. I have many totes. I moved that loaf over in there today when I was, shuffling around some stuff. Martha and Snoop. Fantastic. It is a beautiful balance. Vanilla butter fudge, cupcakes at Tiffany's, the brown sugar, the zucchini bread. It lasts for hours. It throws phenomenally. This was a little poinsettia that was in, or poinsettia, however you say it, that was in her her Christmas Eve ready to ship. That Kirby had last year. I grabbed 4 or 5 poinsettias because I didn't know when Martha and Snoop was going to come back. And I don't remember if she had announced that she was closing at that point or not. I think she did. Had announced it by then. Martha and Snoop. Love it. If you are a Zucchini Bread fan and you do have an opportunity to try this and you haven't tried it yet, just buy one and go for it. I'm pretty sure you'll like it. Next, 4 more here, all L3. Strawberry bread, fresh picked strawberries, zucchini bread. I love anything with strawberry, anything with zucchini bread, anything with them mixed together, and especially love strawberry bread. These were 2 bunts that I had from last year, May of 22. So I figured, I'm using up older wax. I would buy this in a heartbeat. This is a perfect blend of strawberry and zucchini bread. That strawberry bread just adds an extra dimension of bakery to this, in my opinion. And I love this. It threw for hours. It's a strong throw. You can't go wrong with strawberry and zucchini bread. Next is Bitches at the Beach. This one's old, guys. This is from 2021. This is when this was a 2-pack fluted tart. Back in 2021, I think in the spring or summer, Jen offered her a pre-order that was try-me sizes, which were great because you could buy 2 tarts of a scent in case you didn't know much about the scent or you wanted to buy a lot of scents, to stretch your dollar. I loved these sizes. I probably bought 20 of different blends, and I think this is the last one. I think I finished them all up now. But Bitches at the Beach is fantastic. It's gold sugar, coconut coast, and copper tone. So copper tone, yes, is strong. Copper tone can take over a blend very, very, very easily, in my opinion. But this is like delicious sunscreen. This really is. I'm not quite sure what gold sugar smells like alone. I haven't smelled it. But the coconut coast I have smelled alone, and it's creamy, it's tropical, it's great. And the copper tone just adds that. You're on an island, you're in the sun. This is a great one. I want to buy more of this. I know she's poured it several times since I bought this. I know she has. And she's even offered it this year, and I just haven't grabbed it. I need to get some more, though. But Bitches at the Beach, that's a good one. Next is Grassy Pants. Grassy Pants. Okay, if you know me, you know Grassy Pants was one of my scent creation contest winners from last March in L3. Every so often, Jen opens up a customer creation blend contest, and Grassy Pants was one of the winners for that round. This is strawberry, fresh cut grass, sweet lavender, and watermelon. This was a matrix melt. and Grassy Pants was actually poured in not this last Friday, but the time before in scoops. And there might still be some available on the website. I'm not sure. I thought I had more Grassy Pants, but this was the only quantity I had, and I thought, oh no, it's Grassy Pants season. It's grass and watermelon and lavender and strawberry and all that goodness. You can smell every note in this when it's warmed up and going. The grass blends beautifully with the strawberry, blends beautifully with the watermelon and the lavender. I love this. Even if this wasn't my baby, even if this was just somebody else's creation or even Jen's creation, I would love it just as much because this is a really well done grass blend. Gotta give grass a chance. Fresh cut grass, I mean, it's strong, yes, but when it's blended well, it is wonderful. Strawberry and grass together, I mean, A+. It's fantastic. Watermelon in here is so good. I could talk about this for a long time. It's a great one. If you like that, if you like those notes, give that one a try and let me know how you feel about it. And finally, my last one, Sweet 16, sugared shortbread, and strawberry jam. This was a bougie bar from last May. This is very, very, very heavy bakery. Heavy, creamy bakery. That's the Sweet 16. And then you have the strawberry jam, which is, you know, makes everything better in my opinion. I love strawberry jam. It's sweet, it's sticky, it's not artificial. It's just like smelling strawberry jam. And then you have the sugared shortbread, which is always great for an extra sweet punch of bakery. So this one I would buy again in a heartbeat too. So that's my empties from, I think, April 2nd to yesterday, which was, today is the 16th, so April 15th. So April 2nd to April 15th. Those are my empties. So I probably will be doing another empties video in a couple of weeks. We'll see how much I get through this week. So I hope everyone has a great week ahead and hope it's not too hot where you are. And if you are in an area that had a lot of snow this winter, like out here, I hope you are, you know, not having too much flooding, and I hope everything is just happy and, you know, you're getting everything you want. So I thank you guys for watching. Thanks for the support, and I'll see you soon.